What if your best chance to win is also what destroys you? Meet Erich Ludendorff, the man behind Germany's final gamble. In 1918, during World War I, Ludendorff launched a massive offensive. The goal? Win the war before American forces fully arrived. At first, it worked. German troops broke through Allied lines. But success came at a cost. The offensive drained men, supplies, and strength. The army was pushed to its absolute limit. When the advance stalled, Germany had nothing left. No reserves, no recovery. It was a near victory that destroyed the army that needed it most. Meet Leonidas I, the king who chose sacrifice over surrender. During the Greco-Persian Wars, Leonidas led a small Greek force against a massive Persian army. At the Battle of Thermopylae, they held the narrow pass, inflicting heavy losses and buying Greece time. But then, betrayal. The Persians found a way around them. Surrounded, Leonidas and his men made their final stand, fighting to the very end. The army was wiped out, but their sacrifice delayed the invasion and helped Greece prepare for what came next. Leonidas didn't win the battle, but his stand helped win the war. What if you capture the enemy's capital and still lose everything? Meet Napoleon Bonaparte, the man who took Moscow and lost his army. During the French invasion of Russia, Napoleon marched into Russia with hundreds of thousands of troops. He reached Moscow, a symbolic victory, but the city was empty and burning. The Russians refused to surrender. Then winter hit. Starvation, freezing cold, constant attacks. The retreat turned into a nightmare. Out of a massive army, only a fraction made it back. The Grande Armée was shattered. Napoleon won the objective, but lost the army that made victory possible. Meet Hannibal Barca, the general who humiliated ancient Rome. During the Second Punic War, Hannibal crushed Roman armies again and again. At the Battle of Cannae, he delivered one of the greatest tactical victories in history. But there was a problem. He was deep in enemy territory. Every loss hurt, and he couldn't replace his troops. Rome could. Year after year, his army shrank. The advantage slipped away. By the end, his forces were a shadow of what they once were. Hannibal won battles brilliantly, but his army couldn't survive the war. What if ending a war cost tens of thousands of lives in days? Zhoi Zhukov. In the final days of World War II, Zhukov led the assault on Nazi Germany's capital. The Battle of Berlin had begun. Soviet forces pushed forward, street by street, building by building. Wave after wave attacked heavily fortified defenses. Casualties skyrocketed in just days. Victory was close, but the price was devastating. Berlin fell. The war in Europe ended, but the Red Army paid for every inch in blood. Zhukov won the final battle, but at a cost history still debates. Sacrificing thousands on purpose. Meet Ulysses S. Grant, the general who refused to stop attacking. During the American Civil War, Grant faced Robert E. Lee. His strategy? Constant pressure. Even after massive losses, he kept pushing forward. Battles like the Battle of the Wilderness and Battle of Cold Harbor were brutal. Thousands died. Critics called him the Butcher. But Grant knew one thing: the Union could replace soldiers. The Confederacy couldn't. So he kept grinding down Lee's army until there was nothing left. He won the war, not with brilliance alone, but with relentless attrition. Meet Pyrrhus of Epirus, the king who defeated ancient Rome, again and again. During the Pyrrhic War, Pyrrhus crushed Roman armies in major battles. Sounds impressive, right? But there was a problem. Every victory cost him elite soldiers he couldn't replace. After the Battle of Asculum, he admitted, "If we win one more battle, we're finished." He was winning and still losing. His army kept shrinking, Rome kept rebuilding, and eventually, Pyrrhus had nothing left. That's why today we call it a Pyrrhic victory, a win so costly it's basically a loss.